Well, good morning. It's cold and wet here today, and we're going to get working on this quarry of mine. I spent almost 6 hours yesterday gluing in place a majority of the foam for the walls of the quarry. I didn't think anybody would want to watch 6 hours of me gluing stuff together. So what I've done is I've just left this little corner here. And we're going to glue this stuff down so you can see what the process was for getting it ready. So just got to make sure keep them roughly going along so we can see this properly. So I'm just going to step up here a bit. So I'm going to switch the camera over to another view, one that's closer of this. Sunday I spent a good part of the day putting lights in buildings and flashing LEDs and warning lights and all sorts of stuff. Lots of wires all over the place. It's still definitely a work in progress, and I've got two small battery packs that power most of the lights, but for some reason some of them have to have a 3-volt power supply, which means either I have all of these tiny little bricks with 2 AA's in them, or I buy a power supply that puts out 3 volts, and we go ahead and hook up all of those lights to that power supply, which is what I'm going to do, because it's just so much more simple than doing it any other way. So let's get started here. Now, so just let me switch the camera over. Just press the little button here. There we go. You're not going to see much of me, but you are going to see most of the construction. So if you remember episode 2, I think, was glue. And we were using, the one I always like to use is this Permatex. So we're going to use that to glue down the foam here. So first step, spray it down with glue down there. A little bit on the edge. Spray the bottom of this. And then we have to wait a few minutes for it to become tacky. It does sort of eat the foam a little, but not a lot. And like I say, once it's bonded together, it sure doesn't want to come apart. So, in goes the very first piece here. Push it in place, make good contact. Next one. Again, glue and glue. It's a fairly healthy coat. I don't know if you could see it on the camera or not, but it's a fairly healthy coat. You let it set up for a couple of minutes. Obviously, I'm not waiting. I'm not being as patient as I should be. But this is how you get this stuff to work. Now, that one's going to go in there like that. And then finally on the top here, and again, give it a little time to set up, and then put it in place. So now we've got the next So I got the block that's going to go in there just as a basis. Save foam, I've just cut some of these pieces to thin little slivers and then stuck a block right behind them. It's cutting this stuff on a table saw makes the most god-awful foam dust. Gets all over your clothes, all over your apron, and you just can't control it. There we go. That's good and tight there now. All right, so I'm gonna spray along there. Spray along. Can doesn't like to be upside down for too long, so. Like I say, you're supposed to wait about 5 minutes before you put the stuff together. But I found you can get away with it as long as you can get a good mechanical bond with your hand and squeeze it. As it dries and sets up, it gets stronger. So now we have 2 more pieces. This one here. Is it this one or is it this one? I think this one is the top one, isn't it? Yeah. Wait a minute, maybe not. Hang on. Got to remember how I did this. Oh, no, it is this one. And then finally this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in the gaps with Sculptamold to before I start putting rock molds in place. So instead of 6 hours, you've got, oh, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe of putting these together. I'm just going to do this section through here in front of the dump. I don't know, you should be able to see little red blinking lights. I get these from Evans Design. They are, if they're a millimeter, I'd be amazed. They are so tiny, and they will go in anywhere. Those are brass tubes, and I was able to feed the LED up inside that brass tube, right into the, so yeah, so there's 2 red LEDs that are flashing here. These 2 lights are actually lit up. You probably can't see the light they're giving off, but that's so there's light for the dump trucks when they get to dumping their load. There's going to be another one of these sound boards buried down in here somewhere with the sound of that rock crusher crushing rock. I haven't decided whether it's going to be the sound of the crusher making a noise, or whether it's going to be the truck backing up and you're being able to hear its engine and beeping. Doesn't really matter, I don't think. I mean, these little soundboard things are about $26 before taxes and shipping, so they're not really that expensive. And I've got enough foam here that I should be able to go ahead and do that right away. So I'm going to go ahead and finish gluing more foam on here. I'll give you a look down the mine this way with one camera. We're on camera 3 right now, and camera 1 is in my preview. Camera 2 is in my preview, and I've got camera 1, which is on a floating jib out here, sort of halfway up in the air. And we'll get a shot down the mine. So just give me a sec here, and I'll switch things around so you can see what's going on. So here's the mine looking down the mine itself, and you can see all the buildings. Now, some of these buildings are scratch built. Some of them are kits. Some of them are kit bashed. I get some of my buildings, the small little mining buildings that are here. Let me go back. Small little mining buildings that are here and here, and the big one over here, not the main building here, but this one, they're all from a company called P3D. They're out of England, and they make these little kits, and they're not expensive, and like super good customer service. I've had a couple of issues and pieces missing and stuff, and they send you. So for in the mine itself, I've got a track-driven conveyor system machine. And then down at the far end, and that's one of their models. And then there's a bunch of smaller dump trucks, smaller than the big ones that you can see here. So smaller, much smaller than this, half that size, maybe a little bit less. That are kits that you can build, so you can actually have one looking like it's dumping and the others looking like it's carrying stuff. So we'll go to. Let's see, let's go to 2. So this is camera 2. You can see here's the generator building. There's a tank farm here for them. And you can see the big shovel sitting down here. That big shovel is the whole reason this is being built. It's just having that thing. So let's switch back to camera 2, I think no, let's go to 3. And so this is camera 3. And you can see there's a big hopper here, conveyor to a point, conveyor belt to another point. One conveyor coming out of that one and turning and going into here. Another little conveyor down there where the smaller trucks dump their loads. And then this building over here, I don't know if you can see it, but just right there, that's another one of those buildings from England, and that's for loading dump trucks with gravel, so that that gravel can leave the mine. The tracks are set pretty well. Go to 1 here. So you can see along here, this is the track. We got the main line going straight through, and then turn out over there, and a long run, a curve point, a Y, another one here, and then through the main building and beside the main building. This is this building here is an engine shed. I've decided that this operation is big enough to have their own diesel, and it'll be a small DCC shunter that works the mine. So in operations, we'll be able to run it back and forth, and it'll be able to send the cars down here for a train to come in and pick up the load and take it out. So that's about it for today. Like I say, I've got lots of more foam to glue down and stuff. I will be putting cork over this, and that will level out some of the surfaces here, and it will mean that everything will be raised about an eighth of an inch, quarter inch up further, and we'll see how that goes. But for the remainder of the day, I'm just going to take my time and keep gluing foam to foam. All right, so thanks very much. We'll see you around. So the next time we'll still be working on this. I do have rock castings. Plaster Paris rock castings, and this is going to go on the mine surface here, along like that. All right. So thanks very much. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe if you want to see more of this, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much, and goodbye.